I think for a long time, people didn't necessarily see the need of, you know, owning your own data, or privacy wasn't such a big deal. Whereas now, you know, there's been so many things in the last couple of years about, you know, around privacy and trust, and people actually not wanting to share all that information. And also, so that's from the kind of, you know, your customers and the end user perspective, and, you know, people losing trust in things like Facebook. And then from the creators perspective, it's been really interesting, because I think for a while creators didn't realize, I think originally people knew they needed to have an email list, like a marketing mailing list. And then we kind of went through this phase where creators would sort of just be on social media and, you know, have tens of thousands of YouTube subscribers, but not know who any of them are, and not have any way to contact them outside of YouTube. Or the same with Facebook. You know, you have to, if you post on Facebook, it's not going to go to more than 10% of your followers unless you pay Facebook to boost it, which is crazy. You know, why should we be paying Facebook to reach our own audience? But that's the situation that we have. And I think now there's this shift in the market where people are starting to realize, actually, I really should have control of my audience. I should own the relationship with them directly, not through, you know, via this third party platform. And at the very least, I should have their email address. So wherever I am online, I can choose, okay, this is the latest craze, I can be there. But whatever, as those crazes move and change, I still have my own email list. And now a lot of focus obviously is on, you know, building that email list, but a lot of that experience is quite, I don't know, like people often feel like they're being sold to. Like, let's say we work a lot with podcasters, actually. It's probably most of our new clients are all podcasters, because there's this really nice way that we solve a pain point that podcasters have, which is, you know, when you have a podcast, most of the time you've got something else that you are offering the listeners. It might be some video courses you do, or it might be some extra cool content services that you do, or you know, whatever it is that you're offering in addition to the podcast. And your listeners you'll sort of say, oh, well, go here for my free ebook or my free webinar, and then you'll collect their email addresses as part of that, so that you can then build a relationship with them. Absolutely. But it doesn't feel like a nice experience for that. Listeners feel like they're being sold to. Whereas instead, if you can say, if you love this podcast, download our app where you can listen to it. You know, you can have a push notification to remind you whenever the latest episode comes out. Yeah. There you can read the show notes, read the transcript, come and comment on what you like, what else you want to hear, you know, see links to our sponsors or our guests, you know, all that can be in the app. And then once they're in the app, they've logged in to write comments. So you've got their email address, but you haven't like done this exchange of like free ebook for an email address. You've actually just naturally built that relationship with them, taken it to the next level. It's like dating. It's like well, yeah, I'll leave that analogy there, but there's lots of probably say that it just feels nicer than that kind of cold contact that feels like a sale. And then if you do have a video course or other things, they can then be in the app alongside where they are already. And instead of then having to send an email, oh, come buy our video course, they'll just see it there in the app. And if they're interested, if you're giving them value, then they're going to go, oh gosh, I really want more of this. Oh, look at this wonderful thing over here I can engage with.
Absolutely.
So
that's
definitely a big shift.
Yeah, that's interesting that you put it that way, because I started thinking on all the times I've been to a landing page, right? And there are exceptions, really good landing pages with really good offers on the back that I'm like, yeah, take my email, please. I don't really care about it. But most of them, they do feel like you're being sold, like, oh, do I really want to put my email? And then you go and you put the email where you send all the spam to, right? Which it can be like, spam my email at gmail.com, something like that, right? You're like, oh yeah, that's the one email. I never
spam me.
And your folder has like 12,000 emails.
And that doesn't build a good relationship, because the thing is, if you really actually do want to get to know that person more, as in you as the customer want to actually get to know that content creator more, then if it's all going into your spam email and email open rates suck, and you know, actually if you can build the relationship through trust and experience and just value, you know, like, I want to come here because I think what you're doing is awesome, and then I'm going to give back to you. I'm going to engage in the community. I'm going to find other like-minded people. Like, who else is listening? On an email, you don't know who else is listening. In an app, you can go, oh gosh, wow, look at all these amazing people who love this too, because oh gosh, we're all passionate about the same thing. And it's really hard on social media to cut through the noise, to find other like-minded people that isn't really diluted down either by people trying to sell to you or by, you know, trolls or haters.